Risk management is no longer just a compliance task. For solution architects, it is a design discipline, anticipating harm, building controls, and proving that trustworthy AI can operate safely across its lifecycle under ISO IEC 42001. Module 1 established the foundation. The purpose of ISO IEC 42001, the aims boundary, the AI system inventory, and how annex controls become architecture requirements. Now we move from defining what must be governed to analyzing what can go wrong, how severe it may be, and which design decisions reduce risk. For solution architects, risk is shaped by the system itself. Data flows, model choices, access patterns, monitoring, and human oversight. ISO IEC 42001 makes those design choices accountable through controls, evidence, and trust before launch. Risk management is not a gate at the end of a project. It starts when the use case is first imagined by asking what could go wrong and who could be affected. During data sourcing, attention shifts to quality, consent, bias, and provenance. During model development and validation, controls test performance, robustness, explainability, and security. After deployment, the risk profile continues to change as users, data, and operating conditions change. That is why monitoring, drift detection, change control, and retirement planning matter. The goal is traceability. Every risk has an owner, treatment, metric, and residual risk decision. To evaluate AI systems clearly, it helps to group risk into 4 lenses. Data and privacy risks ask what information the system sees, stores, leaks, or learns from. Model behavior risks ask whether outputs are biased, inaccurate, unexplainable, or degrading over time. Security and misuse risks ask how attackers or users could manipulate the system, extract it, or use it harmfully. Governance and compliance risks ask who is accountable, what is documented, and whether obligations are met. This taxonomy turns vague AI concerns into concrete design questions. Bias is rarely a single bug in the model. It often enters earlier through historical patterns, unbalanced samples, proxy variables, inconsistent labels, or feedback loops that reinforce past decisions. When AI affects hiring, loans, healthcare, education, or public services, these errors can become discrimination. Architects therefore need fairness controls built into the system, not added after launch. Profile datasets. Test performance across subgroups. Check explanations for suspicious proxies. Require human review for high-impact outcomes. And document the evidence. Assumptions, fairness metrics, thresholds, failures found, and remediation choices. Fairness is not perfection. It is discipline detection, justification, and correction. As data moves through an AI system, risk travels with it. Sensitive information can leak from training sets, prompts, logs, embeddings, model outputs, APIs, or shared tools. Privacy risk grows when the system stores interactions, infers attributes, or combines datasets in ways users did not expect. Security threats target the pipeline itself through prompt injection, poison data, model extraction, exposed credentials, and insecure endpoints. The architectural response is layered control. Minimize data, encrypt it, restrict access with IAM, protect secrets, segment networks, monitor activity, and log securely. Hallucination, explainability, and misuse are often grouped together, but they fail in different ways. Hallucination is a truth problem. The model sounds confident while inventing facts, citations, or outdated guidance. Explainability is a reasoning problem. People cannot tell why a recommendation was produced, which makes review and accountability difficult. Misuse is an intent problem. A capable tool is steered toward phishing, disinformation, or policy bypass. Good architecture treats each one separately. Ground outputs in trusted sources, cite and validate important claims, add filters and prompt hardening, warn users when confidence is limited, restrict sensitive access, and create escalation paths for high-risk cases. Deployment is not the finish line. Once a model meets real users, the world around it keeps changing. Data patterns shift, customer behavior changes, and the relationship between inputs and outcomes can weaken. That is model drift. At the same time, the system must remain reliable, fast enough, available, consistent, and resilient when edge cases appear. A third risk is human dependency, where people accept recommendations without enough challenge. Good architecture treats these as operating conditions, with monitoring, drift thresholds, retraining triggers, fallback paths, service objectives, and human review for high-impact decisions. AI risk becomes compliance risk when the organization cannot prove that the system was assessed, controlled, approved, and monitored. That proof matters across privacy law, sector rules, safety obligations, contracts, and emerging AI regulation. The architecture decision is therefore not only technical, it must preserve evidence. Data lineage, risk assessments, control mappings, human oversight, approvals, vendor commitments, and monitoring results. Accountability matters just as much. If data providers, model teams, platform owners, business users, and approvers have unclear responsibilities, gaps appear quickly. ISO IEC 42001 turns this into a management system: assigned roles, risk-based controls, review, and continual improvement. When exact probabilities are hard to defend, qualitative assessment is often the right starting point. It uses labels like low, medium, high, and critical, which makes risks easier to discuss with business owners and reviewers. Semi-quantitative assessment adds structure by scoring likelihood and impact, then combining them into a comparable risk number. That helps teams rank risks and choose treatments. Neither method is perfect. The key is consistency. Use the same scales, consider harms across people, operations, compliance, and society, and align decisions with risk appetite. Risk scoring starts by separating two questions. How likely is the event, and how severe would the harm be? Likelihood considers exposure, threat sources, system complexity, automation, and evidence from incidents or testing. Impact considers financial loss, legal duties, safety, bias, reputation, operations, and affected stakeholders. Together, they define inherent risk, the risk before extra safeguards. After controls are added, such as access limits, monitoring, validation, human review, or incident response, the score is reassessed. The remaining level is residual risk, and accountable owners decide whether it is acceptable. Risk acceptance begins with a clear question. After controls are applied, is the remaining AI risk tolerable? Teams score the inherent risk, consider the controls, and weigh business context, regulatory exposure, stakeholder harm, system criticality, and monitoring confidence. The residual risk is then compared against predefined criteria. Low residual risk may be accepted with evidence. Higher risk may require mitigation, transfer through contractual or insurance mechanisms, escalation to executives, or stopping the use case entirely. Acceptance is an active governance decision, not a shortcut. It should be documented, justified, approved, and revisited as conditions change. Risk treatment becomes real only when it is designed into the system. Architects turn decisions like reduce, transfer, accept, or avoid into layers of controls. Preventive controls stop bad outcomes early through access rules, isolation, validation, secure APIs, and approved model choices. Detective controls make behavior visible using monitoring, audit trails, drift detection, alerts, and human review. Corrective controls prepare the recovery path with rollback, fallback responses, retraining, incident response, and retirement plans. For AI systems, this also includes guardrails, grounding, confidence thresholds, approval workflows, and escalation. Good architecture makes risk treatment operational, repeatable, and observable. The core message is simple. Responsible AI starts with a shared risk language, then moves into structured assessment and practical controls. Taxonomies help us see the risk. Likelihood, impact, and residual exposure help us judge it. Architecture makes treatment real through guardrails, monitoring, access control, human review, and fallback paths. Next, we connect these risks to impact and stakeholders.